on. Hey, more ammo. Oh yeah, Hickok 45, having a little fun again on the range with a 9mm XDs 4.0. If you haven't seen the 4.0 yet, let's take a look at it, okay? This is freshly out, and it's a little bit longer than the XDS 3.3. We've done some measuring. It looks like it's about 7/10 of an inch longer. Not sure, but about that. How's that sound? Yeah, both XDS 9s, of course. Biggest difference, other than the bitone on this one, is the fact that the slide is a little longer. Okay, John and I have shot them quite a bit, and we have some opinions about them. We have tested the slides. You can interchange the slides, and they'll still fire. So the frame, and they still match up tightly. So the frames are the same. I do have the Talon grips on this one. It looks a little different, but John doesn't have them on his yet. But they're they work fine. Put the 3.3 slide on this one, and it's flush and it works. We fired them both, interchanged that way. And not that I guess that's a big deal, but some people want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. So we got the 4.0 and same gun, just a longer slide, longer barrel. No other real differences. You have a longer sight radius. You have a little more weight. Okay. Yeah. What do I mean? No other differences. The weight, of course, is one difference. Obviously, if you have a slide, it's a little bit longer. And we have come to the brilliant conclusion, because we are actually amateur scientists, that let's put an empty mag in. Do I have an empty mag? Yes, I do. Stuck it in my pocket. And we have a little bit of difference in weight, not a lot. We are empty. The weight on the 3.3 was a pound 6.5, and it was bouncing between 6.5, 6 5/8 ounces there. And put the empty mag in this one. Remember, 6 5/8 or 6.5, 8 5/8. So 2 ounces. This weighs 2 ounces more. Okay, a little bit longer, 2 extra ounces. Now, what do you get with that? Many of you, and I have done some research. I know what people are saying, and what they're wondering is why. Why did Springfield come out with this? Well, I don't know the inner workings of Springfield, but I do have an idea as to the differences and maybe the advantages, maybe disadvantages. This firearm, the 3.3, might work a little bit, be more likely to work in a pocket holster probably than this one. This one gets out there to a length where, yeah, even with a good pocket holster, it's going to be stretching it, isn't it? It really is. Probably would work if you want to. You've got the right pockets, but that's a stretch. What you get with the longer slide, as in any case, is, and by the way, it's the same length as the Glock 19. That's the only reason I have the Glock 19 out here. They're the same length. So what do you get with a longer slide? Okay, I'm waiting for an answer. You get a better sight radius, don't you? The further your front sight is from your rear sight, generally speaking, that is of some benefit. Okay, and notice the grip is still the same length grip. Of course, the XDS is the XDS frame, and it's shorter than the Glock 19 grip. Now, if you put this extended mag, they do offer this for an extension, as it's called. With a longer magazine that has 2 more rounds, has 9 versus 7. Okay, that's a good fit. But now that makes it actually longer than the Glock 19. That has quite a bit of length just for 2 rounds. That's nothing I would probably carry it in. However, there you go. You've got a firearm that's just a bigger firearm. Maybe you need a single stack. I'm trying to rationalize here, or look at it from both sides. What I'm trying to look at. A lot of people will say, well, this does everything I need, and probably does for me. This is fine. It's big enough. It's easy to shoot pretty well, and has a nice trigger. This one does. And why we need a longer slide? Well, I don't know. Why do you need a Glock 19? Why does anybody need a gun that big? I don't know. Some people just prefer a longer sight radius, and also you get a little bit less recoil a little bit less felt recoil with those extra 2 ounces. John and I both shot it side by side, going back and forth, and you do get, and we'll do some more of that, you do get a little bit less recoil impulse with the longer slide. So you get more sight radius, you get less recoil. And if you know anything about carry, now I know everybody who's watching is not in a place where you can carry legally, and that's not maybe something on your radar, depending on what country you're in or what state and everything. But anybody who has carried a pistol will tell you, I think, if they have any experience with it, the slide, a longer slide is easier to handle, tolerate in carry mode and inside the waistband holster or whatever kind of holster you have, more so than a long grip. So you do end up with something that's not quite as balanced looking or feeling. You know, that's kind of a nice package right there, right? When you add to that slide length, you get a gun pistol with kind of a short grip for the length of it, because it is the same length, you know, as the Glock 19. And you get something that's a little, maybe you consider a little bit odd, I don't know. But the grip is more important to be short and carry mode, because for those who know, you know, that grip is always hitting on things. You know, anything you sit down on, it's just you know, printing and everything. It's nice to have as short a grip as you can handle and still shoot well. All right, and I've talked about that before. So you still got your short grip, but you got a little more sight radius and a nice shooting gun. Let's take a few shots, see if I can hit anything. In my shooting with it, it has. I mean, it's done well. I've been really pleased with it. I may not be able to hit anything now if the camera's rolling. You know how that goes. But I have some ammo here. Let's just take a few shots. Yeah. Pretty nice pistol. I kind of like the Bitone. It costs, I think, about $70 more than the all black model. You know, it's about $670 or something like this. And these are not cheap. But I don't know, maybe it's because it's just different. But I like the looks of that, I'll tell you the truth. All right, we'll put some ears in, take a couple shots with it. All right, single stack, so we're not really high capacity. So we have less ammo than I'm accustomed to. Don't you try. I was trying to pick him off. I see just the corner of it. Okay, now we got the big grip in. There's a pot on top of that post that needs to be hit. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? There's some more pot right there that needs to be hit. Okay. I don't know what I was hitting there at first. Oh, a 2-liter. Whoa, a rocket. Cool. Cool. Yeah, I'll tell you, it feels good. I'm gonna go over there to the, well, let's go to the gong first. Hard to hear. Yeah, okay, I guess I was hitting it. It really does not have a great recoil impulse. Maybe I'll do side by side here for you. Maybe you can tell a little bit of difference. We'll load up again. We're not going to shoot 1,000 rounds because we are dealing with single stack magazines. And oh, almost forgot, we wanted to thank Federal Cartridge donated some ammo. So this is compliments of Federal, and boy, do we appreciate that. We go through a lot of ammunition, and we shot a couple of boxes even before the camera started running, and getting a feel for these pistols and the difference between them. And John and I both agreed that you do feel less recoil with it. Now, it's not significant. It's not some gigantic difference at all, but you can tell the difference. You know, if you shoot both of them, you would be able to tell too. It's not just because we're fairly experienced shooters. It's anybody could tell the difference. Okay, but you don't pick this one up and think, "Whoa, trade it in immediately." You know, too much recoil. It's not that kind of thing. You can tell the difference. Okay. So it just kind of depends on what you're looking for. I could argue for either one. If I'm strictly carrying in a holster, you know, I mean, there's no big deal. I mean, a belt holster, you know, 4.0 versus 3.3, not that big a difference. especially if you find that you shoot a lot better if you have a little added length, and if the recoil is lessened a little bit, you know. And a lot of that comes down to, as I've spoken about before, your experience. You know, how much shooting you have done, because as you shoot more and more and become more experienced as a handgun, a pistol shooter, then, you know, things that made a difference early on for you may not make as much difference and may not be as important to you later on, because you can handle anything. It just doesn't matter that much. So it kind of depends on where you are, you know, in all that. So we'll shoot them side by side. Again, we sure appreciate the ammo there from Federal. Okay. In case you haven't noticed, we go through some ammo. Wow. All right. What I'll do here, and maybe you can tell a little difference. I know you trust my word, but still, maybe you can actually see a little bit. I'll try to hold them the same. Let's load them both up here. And I'll make them both hot. It's the interest of keeping it moving. Or there's a little time between shots. I'll just shoot one-handed at the cowboy. Just gonna hold on him and take a shot. I have the same hold. Okay, I'll lay that down, pick up the other one. You know what, I'm gonna put my ears on. I didn't have my ears on for those 3 shots. Guess who was the first to know? Me. Okay. All right, let me try the other one now. I'll take a couple shots on the tombstone. Finish the other one off. Alright, I don't know if that tells you anything. I know what I'll do too. I'll put, you know, one-handed, sometimes it's kind of weird. I've got 2 of these loaded fully. I'm going to shoot, I'm going to go ahead and empty them fairly quickly. And I'll try to hold the same grip on both of them. Alright, same grip, I'll just go to the tombstone. Same amount of pressure on the grip. Okay. All right. I don't know if you can see anything there. I can feel a little bit more with this. And of course, I think that the grips help. I like the rubber friction a little bit better, but you do feel a little bit more impulse. Not enough to matter in a defensive handgun, though, really. Okay? And but by and large, they're both great shooters. You've seen, hopefully, the videos with that gun, and it is a good shooter. I'm going to put that extended grip on here. I don't, you know, like those. If you know me, you know I don't really care for that. But I just want to take a couple of shots over there. I'm going to try the red plate with this thing. Got him. Boy. I was shooting at the pig that time. I was, yeah, I tell you, it feels good. You feel like you could hit about anything. Let me try the chicken. Too low. I felt like it was right there in the area. Anything else loaded? When I picked it up earlier today and took a shot over there, popped the chicken first shot. Of course, that's the way it goes. You're trying to hit something, but it really is a nice shooter. The only advice I can leave you with, if you have not bought one of these, I don't think most of you, if you have the XDs, that you know, you're going to want to run out and trade or anything. But if you've not gotten one and you're thinking about one, just take into consideration the things I talked about. Maybe again, the longer slide makes it a little sweeter to shoot. Both these have great triggers, they really do. And again, for carry, unless you're trying for pocket carry, the extra length, a little bit of length in the slide isn't a big deal. You still get that short grip, which is really nice for carry, and it's not extending and printing and banging on things, so that's still really nice. But then you do have the option of making a bigger firearm if you want to, and you got something just in terms of the footprint, it's actually bigger than the Glock 19, you know, in terms of length. Now this is a thinner gun than the Glock 19. Y'all know that. We've done those measurements. It's a thinner gun. That's what you gain with this gun over, say, a Glock 19 or something. It's a thinner gun. Okay, so even if you got it decked out to where it's as big in terms of length, it's still thinner. All right, so there you go. You got a lot to get a hold of there, and you know that might shoot a lot of people right there. Just got a bigger gun, you've got a thinner gun that fits your hand better. So those are things to think about. I can't think of anything else that you should be thinking about. It's the XDs, no big surprise. Same gun, just longer. And I kind of like it. It's a little bit easier, you know, to shoot well. As far as shooting, it's pretty neat. And like I said, I kind of like the bitone. That's not essential. But anyway, the XDs 4.0, just want to give you my impressions of it. It is a T&E gun. Thanks to appreciate Springfield sending it when I requested, and glad to at least give you my impressions of it. So life's good.